The Cornell Club of Washington organizes more than 100 events in the nation's capital every year. One of the highlights in 2013 was a collaboration between the club and the university to help bring members of the Cornell Wind Ensembles to town for their inaugural service learning and performance tour in Washington.
The Cornell Club of Washington was approached. Would they be helpful in setting it all up? And I happened to be close to the DC public schools and wound up being, if you will, the project officer or the coordinator from our end for this wonderful visit of the CU Winds in April 2013.
He did some research. I just gave him the mandate that said we're really not interested in just coming to DC to perform. That'll be fun, and we will do that, but we're more interested in interacting with students in communities that wouldn't necessarily have interactions from Cornell students.
And we picked two high schools which had been closed for a long time for renovations. One of them had been torn down to the ground and rebuilt completely. So we wound up with H.D. Woodson High School in Northeast Washington and Eastern High School, also in Northeast, right on the East Capitol Street. They call themselves the Pride of Capitol Hill. These are two schools that had recently reopened and were rebuilding their music programs. At H.D. Woodson High School, they have a wonderful director of music programs, Philip San Gabriel, and he conducted the Cornell students and his own students in a couple of numbers that they learned together. It was wonderful.
For them to hear what the piece sounded like with a full ensemble was definitely quite an experience for them. They enjoyed hearing from the director who walked by every master class and offered her advice. The students, they were sharing their stories of when they started and all the techniques that their various teachers have taught them, and they were sharing all that knowledge with all the students. The greatest things that came with the CU is that they actually came in, they performed the concert, performed the master class, and then we got back together on the stage, and they actually presented us with reconditioned instruments.
The CU Winds tour in Washington coincided with the National Cherry Blossom Festival, which presented a unique opportunity.
So I called the DC Cherry Blossom Festival committee, and they said, "Oh, your musicians, your CU Winds will be here during our festival. How would they like to play a concert on the steps of the Jefferson Memorial during the Cherry Blossom?" That was just an added highlight, and a special highlight, I guess, for the students from Cornell.
We had quite a big crowd, which was great, and more people gathered round, as the concert went on, which was also a good sign.
The tour concluded with an evening performance by the CU Winds, who inducted event organizer Bob Day into the group as an honorary member.
Cindy Turner put the baton in my hands. Now, I've never led an orchestra in my entire life. I was supposed to conduct the Washington Post March by John Philip Sousa, so that was a new first for me and a lot of fun. The Cornell Club was wonderfully supportive in many, many ways with its connections. So, again, I say it's a great project for the club, it's a great project for the university, it supports the university, and it's great to reach out to the local schools.